Hello, America. Shell Rotella, number one name in diesel oil. Well, now T6 is made in a multi-vehicle. It's good for gas and diesel. It's hard to find. I found it on a few spots, but Walmart's got it. It's about 45 a gallon. I'm not sure what unless it's that much better oil, which it may be. So, all mileage, this stuff is 530. 2 dextrose, so I mean it's certified to do everything. And then let's look here. Right down Chrysler MS 6395. That's what you need if you got a Pentastar or any other Dodge late model product. Hemis. Hell, you need it for the Hellcats and all that, RTs. Anyway, this thing's got all the certifications you need. But I just want to bring some reality to oil, and I just don't think anybody's really doing it. I have 16 Pentastars. I have a fleet. I don't want to tell you the business I'm in, but you can imagine. So, anyway, there's 16 of them, and the majority of them I run this stuff in, and it runs fine. Now, I live in a warm environment, and the ones that I've been changing oil, like every 1 to 3,000 miles, I've had, there's several with a lot of miles. I mean, a lot. Pushing 200, and most of them are post 15, because that's when I sort of discovered the Pentastar. But I've had no rocker failures, and I've had no cam failures, so that's pretty good. Using this kind of oil or other comparable. I do avoid Mobil 1. I did put Mobil 1 520, which is supposedly what's called for in these motors. I put it in one of my Pentastars the other day, and I'll tell you, I knew right away. I mean, I don't think most people could tell. I could tell that oil was not good, and it was fresh, and it was it wasn't high mileage. It was fresh, and I put the 6 quart in. That was the identical, mix. I drained it and put this in, and, I drove it for about 100 miles. There just wasn't enough oil pressure, people. And I think that's why, some of those parts are failing. Mobil 1 is just the most sucky oil. And just the truth be told, people, if you took Mobil 1 and took it to Europe, it's no longer full synthetic. Because it's a base 3 oil, So that's why Chrysler, they sell ultra platinum, and that's made from natural gas. And I have a bunch of it next to me here. It's all in plastic. I had a hard time getting it out. So anyway, but you can buy it on Amazon. I just bought some 1030 because I do that in the summertime, 1030. And then there's plenty of oil pressure. But some of my Pentastars I run 1060, the Castrol supercar oil. So, everybody's so worried about that top number. Oh my God, the tolerances, the tolerances, what a bunch of crap. When you start the car up, it's as long as you're in a warm environment. My car is the one I use personally is heated all the time. So I drive it, and then I drive it home, put it back in the garage, and it's heated. So, and I live in a pretty warm environment, so it stays like 82 degrees. So it's not as relevant to me as maybe other people. But 530 works absolutely fine. 040 would work absolutely fine. That top number, once the car is moving and warm, that top number drops. It doesn't stay at a 40 or a 30. There's shearing, and the molecules shear. So, so it's less. So, and if you read extensively on oil, the higher the number at the top, the better the protection. That's just commonly known amongst mechanics. That's why mechanics do not, go 5, 8, 10,000 on oil. It's just ludicrous. I mean, even at 3,000, I can just feel the grit in my oil. And I use, K&N oil filters. I use Mobil 1s, the good stuff. Mopar, which is made by Champion, by the way. It's not really that great of oil filter. So, but I have used it, and I got some. I probably have 200 filters, so I buy them when they're on sale. But people, as long as you live in a warm environment, that bottom number is sort of irrelevant. I just bought some 1030 Ultra Platinum, and my cars love it. There's no knocking when I start it up. There's nothing like that, because it's warm. It rarely ever gets below 45 degrees. Rarely. And my car's in a heated garage. But a lot of people, they want a little thicker oil, and I tell them, if you want thicker oil, you're gonna get more protection, no question about it. And so anyway, I recommend this oil. I think it's good. I've been using it for a couple of years now, and now the T6 has a multi vehicle, but it's hard to find. You can find it on Walmart.com, but you have to look hard for it. It'll say multi-vehicle in the title, but the picture may not be right. But it should be the right thing. So that's pretty new. That's only been out about 3 or 4 months, and I think Walmart hasn't stocked it in the buildings because it's too expensive yet. So they have to, economies of scale. They have to bring the price down. But the flow of a 5 versus 10, minimal difference. I mean, if sometimes I mix the 5 and the 10 together, and all I know is the thicker the oil I have, the better the car likes it. And hey, these cars have VVT, and everybody, oh, geez, it ain't gonna work. Okay, I've got all these cars, but I belong to a Mopar club. We're pushing over 500 members. We just don't have any failures. I've spoke at it, and lots of other people. We get engineers, and we tell them, hey, use thicker oil. It's warm here. If where you live is 20 below, well, that changes things a little bit. Then buy a engine heater, But people, you have to have thicker oil, because these thin oils, man, they are not. I mean, come on, they're not protecting the motors. Look at all the failures. Look at all the cams. Look at all the rocker arms, lifters. You can just tell it's not working. I felt a little tiny bit of rattle when I put that Mobile 1 in. The third time I started, it was about 42 degrees, and I started and I heard a little bit of rattle. It could have been the phase adjuster, I'm not sure, but just that tiny, for a second or two. Won't hurt anything. But I'd never heard it on that Mopar motor before, so. And that's with our illustrious Mobile 1. So, but when you get to Ultra Platinum, which I think is the best oil for the money, and you can get it for pretty close to $20 for 5 quarts on Amazon or Walmart when it goes on sale. So just don't spend $35, $40. Wait till it goes on sale. Get the Amazon price checker, and when it goes on sale, buy it, and buy enough that you got for a year or so, and I think you'll be set. But anyway, this is what's working for me.